Hi, welcome to Breaking the Dependency Cycle. We're talking about supplemental instruction and why are we here today. So let's think about and raise your hand if you came for one of these reasons. You attended SI and you liked it. Maybe you needed a part-time job. Maybe you wanted to help students get better grades. I know, now you have three arms up and it's really getting difficult. But let's keep going. Maybe you wanted to work with an instructor that you admire. Maybe you like the subject matter or the SI staff. Paul and Catherine are pretty great. Maybe you're also here because you have a deeper desire to help students. You want to be part of higher education and all the rest. Learning is very exciting. It's also very difficult, especially if you don't have good study habits. So here's some scary facts about graduation. Only about 50%, 58% of students graduate from college. Students drop at higher and higher rates, and it's getting very difficult. So why is SI here today? Well, SI is here because technology and other resources are great helps to learn facts. But is learning about acquiring and verifying facts? SI gives students the tools to succeed in their study sessions and in their classes. And that's our goal. Instead of treating learners like places to stuff all the information, now we know that learning is a process. To be truly educated means going beyond the isolated facts, putting learning in a larger context, and above all, it means discovering the connectedness of things. Your job is to help the students with the connected concepts. You're helping them to get that connectedness. By getting students together and keeping them on track. So this is the foundation of SI, student-to-student interaction. It's based on several long-standing learning theories about how humans think and learn through interaction and active engagement. We know SI works because students who attend SI receive a lower rate of D's, F's, or course withdrawals. They earn a higher mean grade, and they re-enroll and graduate at higher rates. Now, this is information that's not just verified by me. It's verified by the U.S. Department of Education. And we're seeing the same things happen here at ACC. Students do receive a lower rate of DFW if they have attended supplemental instruction study sessions. And the more the students attend, the higher their mean course grades could be. So let's talk about traditional academic support. It focuses on the high-risk student. High-risk students are very difficult to locate on campus. They're located by standardized test scores. How many of us got a low standardized test score? High school class rank. How many of you would be counted in a lower class rank? And what about course performance? How many of you have ever had a bad course in high school or college? There's also in-house screening, diagnostic testing. 60% of ACC falls in the category where they have to take a developmental course based on the diagnostic testing. And student self-referral. There's another one that's missing on here, Students who are the first in their family to go to college. How many times did you raise your hand in the high-risk students? Do you consider yourself a high-risk student? High-risk students have been helped traditionally by things like individual tutoring, study skills courses. I teach a study skills course as well. Remedial subject courses. I teach developmental math as well. Workshops. The Student Life program has so many great workshops. Um, Advising and Counseling offers workshops for students who are having struggles. There's counseling sessions that students can go to. But the challenges with those traditional approaches are many. There's no place on campus to find the traditional high-risk students, so we can't actually identify them correctly. It's expensive for both the student and the school for the students to take developmental courses and tests and tests and tests. It presumes time to identify and remediate. We want to get students out of college in 4 years and out of Austin Community College in about 2, maybe 3 if they're part-time students. But this presumes that we have some time with traditional approaches to high-risk students. If we want students to graduate in 2 to 4 years, we need to make sure that we can identify them quickly. And it promotes a remedial image. Nobody wants to be treated like they're in a remedial class. And it's very difficult to evaluate the effectiveness. And these are the problems with traditional approaches. The root problems to overcome are passiveness, like you're being right now, being passive, sitting there and listening to this video, and you're being silent. Now, I don't think that there's any failed processes right now, but when you're learning, there are failed processes. For example, this is the dependency cycle. The professor lectures to the students. If they don't understand, the professor or a tutor lectures to them again. If they still don't understand, the tutor or the professor just tells them more slowly. And the students are still blank faces. So now, if the process has failed again, you just give up. It's difficult to figure out what to do when you tell them more slowly what to change. But with SI, we're going to break that dependency cycle. We're going to get the professor to tell the students the information. Then we're going to get the students to tell each other by redirecting questions and using wait time. And then finally, you're going to use checking for understanding to get the students to ask you questions and to tell you the information and tell you what they've learned so that everybody's happy. Supplemental instruction is organized group study time facilitated by a peer. We've talked about that before. You are the facilitator of this group. So you're keeping the students on topic and helping them to understand. Supplemental instruction targets historically difficult courses where a lot of students fail, even if they're not a traditionally high-risk student. It includes regularly scheduled sessions outside of class. So these SI sessions are going to be scheduled at specific times. There's a student facilitator. That's you. It's offered to all enrolled students, not just the students who are doing poorly, although the students who are doing poorly in the class will tend to be more successful if they come to SI. But also the students who are getting A's and B's are going to be more successful as well. They might understand the material and the content better for the next class that they have to take. Sessions are voluntary and anonymous. The teacher doesn't know who's going to the SI sessions, so students are free to ask the questions that they want to ask. You're getting extensive training and supervision, and that's what we're going through right now is the extensive training. And you will have Catherine and Paul and myself there to observe you and help you to become the best SI leader that you can be. What do students get out of SI? Well, they learn higher subject grades and they learn effectively. They get peer collaborative experiences. It's non-remedial, so they're getting academic support that doesn't make them look like they're not doing well. SI makes efficient use of study time, so they're getting the most out of their time that they're spending in SI. And SI provides an opportunity for students to develop relationships with other students and staff. And that's one of the important things about retention in college, is if students can gain a relationship that they feel is important with others at the college, other students, or SI leaders, or staff, or faculty. That's one of the things that keeps students re-enrolling in college. So inside the SI session, it's not tutoring, it's not relecturing, it's not teaching, and it's not a homework session. So what do we do in SI? What do we learn? How do we facilitate this group? Well, we're looking at what the tasks are that the students have. They're difficult tasks. But in SI, we get the students to work together and be cooperative so that they can get things done. Inside the SI session, there's student-to-student processing of material. The leader facilitates and organizes the time, that's you, and it uses cooperative and collaborative learning. Now, just so that you know a little bit about cooperative learning, the students have this sink or swim together sense in collaborative learning. It's individual accountability. The students all need to be accountable for all of the material. And there's a lot of interpersonal skills. They learn communication, trust, leadership, decision-making, and conflict resolution as students. And there's face-to-face interaction. In this case, it's not face-to-face, it's through technology. But you can see each other's face and you can communicate. So we're going to reflect on how the team is functioning and how they can do better through SI. SI leaders attend class, hold regular SI sessions, plan collaborative activities based on the most difficult content, encourage students to discover the material themselves, and help students understand how to approach their discipline. So here's what you get out of SI. You gain leadership skills. You learn how to manage a classroom. You understand the content more fully. And this is one of the biggest parts that's a plus for SI leaders. For instance, I teach math, and the students who are in calculus, the hardest part of that material is the algebra. And if you're an SI leader in an algebra class and you're taking a calculus class, your algebra skills are going to be stronger than most of the other students. So you're going to be able to learn the calculus material much faster. You can find more job opportunities. A lot of our SI leaders have gone on to become tutors in the Learning Lab, or they get connected with the faculty, and the faculty can help them find new jobs and help recommend them to areas where they can be more successful in a career. Also, it helps you to find more scholarships or postgraduate study opportunities by working through your faculty member. And for the scholarships, you're getting leadership skills. So you can definitely apply for more scholarships and potentially get them. Let's think about the SI motto. It may be an old Chinese proverb, but it still holds true today. Tell me and I forget. Show me and I remember. Involve me and I understand.